Hello, everybody. How are we doing tonight? I have some pretty serious things to discuss, and I just want to get right into it. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Holly. Hi, anybody else? I see about a dozen so far. I'm going to just jump right on into it. So if you're coming late, just go back if you need to. And I'll go ahead and start with what's already out there to give people a chance to come on in. This is going to give a little bit of a recap and set the stage for what I'm going to show you guys, because this is really, really important. And again, hi, Holly. Hi, Ellen. Now, I'm just now getting back to doing live, so please help me out and hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Okay, so as you guys may have already seen this, Vinnie Politan did a really great investigation and report on this case. I wrote down just a few timestamps I'm going to go over because that's going to set the stage for the things that I'm going to show you guys, okay? And I don't know if you've heard some of this or not. We're just going to go over just a few here. So let me get to my very first timestamp. It's 2:34. All links and everything that I show you guys is going to be in the description. Documents are going to be uploaded to our private Facebook group, which is down in the description as well. All right, so 2:34. This is the 911 call. So I'm going to play this, and I'll be right back after it. It's just a couple minutes long.
That's what happened here. There was a 911 call made, and it's Sleuthin Simon and her boyfriend Daniel who have the phone and are making the call in the morning. It's about 9:40. Take a listen.
911, what was your emergency?
Yeah, I need Louis for kidnapping. Yeah.
Did you say someone been kidnapped?
Yeah, we...
Your 1-year-old son?
All right, so as some of you may know, I don't like to play too much of other people's content. That's the timestamp for that one. All of this is going to be after the live. I've got, I take notes and everything, and it's all going to be down in the description. So that's the first timestamp. Let me go to the next one. The whole call is there, so you guys can go and listen to that. At 5:56 is the timeline of that night. So he goes over, it was 5:29 when Diana McCarta received a text that services would not be needed for Quinton that day. It was discovered later that he passed away overnight, was killed overnight. So that leads a lot of people to think suspiciously of Danny, because he stated that he saw Quinton at 6 a.m. when he left for work. However, I don't know. We don't know about that. I mean, we can all theorize. I theorize that he may have seen what looked like Quinton pile of blankets or a staged thing, kind of like when I snuck out as a teenager, I'd put things underneath my blanket and make it look like I was there. Oh boy. Anyway, so they go over the timeline here. And again, this is going to set the stage, and this is stuff that you guys have not seen before that I'm going to show you guys. So 6 a.m. was the last time he was seen. That he said he saw him, right? But I don't think he really saw him. They called 911 at 9:39 a.m. and by 1 o'clock, the FBI was involved. So let's see, 9:26. Just going to play just a little bit of each one of these, because this just simply sets the stage for what I'm going to show you guys. 9:26.
I think that this babysitter really cared about Quinton. There are reports that this babysitter was actually the one that got Leilani to call 911 in the first place, or got Daniel to call. So it's interesting. I mean, this was just the start of Leilani's lies, but I know that you're going to get to that, so I won't give it.
Okay, so there was that. I'm trying to get through this as quick as I can here. 1339. This is when they announced her arrest. 1620. Be very careful if you listen to this part of the live, because he does go over graphic detail about how Quinton was found and what happened to him at the landfill. It's horrible. Horrible. So I'm going to go back a little bit because I don't even want to. You can pause there and there if you'd like to listen to that live. They go over it more. Almost at 26:58. And then I'm going to pull up some stuff for you guys to see. And I've heard a lot of people talking about this. And I'm like, no, that's but anyway, let me finish this.
The grand jury, to me, problematic. We don't know the manner in which Quinton's life was taken. They say there's an object used. We don't know what the object used here is. There seems to be a few holes right now in this case, unless they just don't want to reveal them, but they didn't reveal it to the grand jury.
Here's where they went over one of the documents on the case. I'm almost to where I can show you this stuff. I just want to set the stage. The timeline of the night. This is a really good live. If you're not real familiar with the case, you can just watch this one live and be pretty caught up. They talked about finger pointing and issues, and then they said they were going to dig a little deeper. And now this is the intro to what I'm going to show you guys. 3650. We're going to start here, and I'm going to play it until they go over this document, and then I'm going to explain this for everybody, because they didn't show the whole thing. So watch.
And then you dive a little deeper into the family dynamics and what exactly is going on here, because this was a young mother, obviously, right? A young mother who didn't seem like she was ready for motherhood, but had children. Take a look at this. This is from the Georgia Child Support Worksheet. This is concerning Quinton. Child, Quinton Simon. Non-custodial parent, Leilani Simon.
Hold on. Let me see if they did show the whole thing right here. Yeah. Okay. So you can see the date on it up there. This was that final one, but I'm going to show you the one that was served. So hold on just a moment. Let me keep playing this portion.
Concerning Quinton. Child, Quinton Simon. Non-custodial parent, Leilani Simon. Non-parent custodian, Billy Howell. That's grandma. So in this case.
Now, I will say after this, they go into a whole bunch of stuff that I don't think was really too pertinent, in my opinion. So I'm done showing on this live, and now I'm going to move over to showing some stuff to you guys now. Hi, Ellen. So again, that document has been in question a lot, and a lot of people, I showed it on my channel like 2 years ago, but I only had like 500 subs when I did that. And so I'm going to show it again. This is where I showed it on the live. Hold on, I'm going to put up my thing here. So you know how people are. Hold on just a moment. Let me get my... I can close this out of the way. There we go. Okay. Give me a second. I gotta get pulled up. I might need this one. I'm not sure. I'll see when I pull it up which one works. Alrighty. So there's been a lot of question, and I'm just starting with this because I'm going to get into more about this topic as far as like who's actually responsible. Where does the buck stop, you know? So there was this document that I got a long time ago. And let me make this small so I can move this thing around here. I'll just do it like that. Okay. So there was this document that had come out, and a lot of people were showing just this document, but there's actually a page 2. And you know what? I think my audio goes crackly when I go full screen. So let me just change it up a little bit here. Since I can't hear myself, I don't know if it's doing that. But anyway, so this document had been leaked out, and I went and got the originals with page 2, and I tried to explain to people that this was not all of it, that there was more to this. So I'm going to read a little part of this here. So law enforcement had removed the above referenced children from their home on October 12th at approximately, I don't need times and all that stuff. And the placement of the children in foster care because the children were in imminent danger of abuse or neglect if they remained in the home. This was after Quinton, while he was still missing before they found him. Okay, just to give you guys a date time frame. Okay. Removal of the children from the custodian, which was Billy Joe at the time, was and remains necessary to safeguard the children's welfare. Continuation of the children in the home and or returning the children to the home would be contrary to the welfare of the children. And removal of the children is in the best interest of the children. My goodness. Because a voluntary kinship care agreement or safety plan, which I'm going to show you, with relatives became insufficient to ensure the safety and welfare of the children during a child death investigation. The children's sibling, Quinton Simon, was reported missing on October 5th. Based upon information obtained in the course of its missing child investigation on October 12th, law enforcement notified the FCS and the family it was proceeding with the child death investigation. The children and the sibling were living in a home with the mother, the youngkin father, that's Danny, and the maternal grandmother, also her husband and her brother, prior to the siblings' disappearance. The mother is a primary subject of the death investigation, and other household members, as well as relatives, continue to be investigated for protective capacity. The mother is a chronic, unrehabilitated substance abuser of cocaine and cannabis. She screened positive for and admitted use of cocaine and THC at the birth of the child. She has continued to screen positive for cocaine. The mother has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and anxiety disorder, for which she has not been receiving ongoing mental health treatment. The maternal grandmother has a permanent guardianship order as to the child, a different child. I don't state children's names, pursuant to the documents from Burke County. The maternal grandmother failed to provide adequate supervision for this child by leaving this child in the home in the care of the mother, a person the maternal grandmother knew or should have known was unfit to provide proper care while the maternal grandmother traveled out of state. The Georgia DHS, through the Chatham County Department of FCS, made reasonable efforts to prevent the removal of the children from the home and to make it possible for the children to return. Now let me show you guys page 2. This is the one that never got put out. Like, people just didn't want to put this one out, I guess. Let me close that one. So on here, you will see consulting with law enforcement, utilizing a voluntary kinship care agreement during the missing child investigation, attempting to verify the maternal grandmother's claim to permanent guardianship of the child and the sibling and Quinton, confirming with the Cherokee Nation the children do not qualify as Indian children. They have to do that in every case. Reviewing Child Protective Services history from other counties, as well as ongoing Family Preservation Services cases. Previously providing the mother with substance abuse rehab treatment following in utero drug exposure of the child, providing an updated substance abuse assessment, blah, blah, blah. So this was the day that they removed all of the children. Now, it's been debated, and believe me, I'm not just, you'll see, you saw my thumbnail, right? I want to know who actually failed this child, right? I am of the opinion that as a grandmother in exactly the same situation, although I do have full legal guardianship, I would not leave my grandchildren with any person who's still testing positive, who's not working the program, all of that stuff. Job be damned, period. But yeah, I'd work something else out, period. That is my opinion. Everybody knows, however, how much child welfare has screwed up many, many, many people and children, and put a lot of children in harm's way. So there was let me look through my one folder here, make sure I'm not missing anything before I go on to here we go. So there was a really big investigation after this that had actually been going on for a couple of years before this happened to Quinton, and a big report came out, and I was pretty shocked to see this. Now let me get this pulled up here. Ugh, I hate this new automatic reader thing that my computer decided to get. Okay, so if we look through this I'm not super familiar with navigating. So what they did was they went through and they verified. Oh, this is the new one. Hold up. I found this quote, by the way, kind of ironic. Final plan and report. Okay, here we go. That's a different one. Hold on just a minute. It is this one right here. Hold up. It's going to look exactly the same, but it's not. It's a different one. So this is the one I wanted to show you guys. So this is the one that happened right after Quinton, and oh my word. Georgia DHS has been utterly failing children for a long time. The audits reveal that DFCS consistently fails to assess and address safety threats to children, including by failing to adequately investigate reports of abuse. They failed in 84% of cases reviewed. Mismanagement is a key contributor to child deaths and serious injuries. Hundreds of missing children in Georgia, they determined are likely ended up as sex traffic victims. They've consistently failed to meet children's physical and mental health needs, been over-medicated, systematic child safety failures without conducting full and fair investigations. Let's see. This was just crazy. Somebody who likes to dig and read a lot, please look into this. I'm going to put the link to this in the description because they literally turned over their welfare system to a selection of members of Georgia's own citizen review panels. It's kind of like investigating yourself, you know? So they claim that they don't have enough funding. Let me go down here because there's something on here that's about Quinton, and that's why I wanted to pull this up. It's going to take me a minute to get all the way down to that page again. I didn't write down the page. I just took a screenshot. Hold on. But you don't have to worry about reading any of this because it's going to be in the description. So I just want to look at this chart, you guys. That's the percentage of cases that met the standard, the federal standard on basically quality assurance, you know? Yeah, we're much better here in Oklahoma too, but there's still a lot that needs to be improved. I mean, you want to see a terrible graph, there's your bad graph. They're bad. Really bad. This one right here, I mean, my goodness. Failure to conduct even an initial assessment, and that's going to come up with this case. There was not any kind of initial meeting or a full check on anybody. So let me keep going. I'm going to let me just do a Control F. Hold on. Oh, I don't want it over here on my screen. Here. Okay. His case was mentioned. Here we go. Okay. I want to show you guys this. A lot of people haven't seen this either. I'm going to read it. Chatham County, October 2022, child fatality. In this fatality case, the deceased child was staying with their grandmother as part of a safety plan. I've been saying that for 2 years, and people have been, oh no, she had guardianship. But anyway, since the child's mother had a history of substance abuse and an open case with DFCS regarding the child's 1-year sibling, which is Quinton. The mother was not supposed to be left alone with the 1-year-old. That's Quinton. He was 4 months away from being 2, so he was still 1. Okay. The grandmother, who also had a history with CPS, went out of town, and the 1-year-old sibling was left alone with the mother. The 1-year-old's body was later found in a landfill, and the mother was indicted for murder. OCA identified several deficiencies in how DFCS handled this case, including failing to speak with the grandmother until the child went missing, even though the grandmother was temporarily the child's caregiver, and failing to adequately investigate the grandmother's long history with CPS. That's a problem. Right, Ellen. This is a huge, huge problem. And so, while ultimately, you or I might not leave our little ones with our, you know, I mean, I have a grandchild that I would not leave my grandchildren with, period. He knows I love him, and he knows I don't trust him. My grandchildren are my responsibility, period. So if you don't trust somebody, don't leave your kids with them. But this right here helps illustrate the points that I've been trying to make. She was never charged with anything related to this. I mean, she's going to be beating herself up for the rest of her life over it, right? I know I would. It's horrible. It's kind of like there's times when there should be, you know, legal consequences for somebody, and there's times when there should not. Like, for example, there's another case where there were charges, and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? You charged? Whoa. There was a grandfather on a cruise ship. Do you guys remember hearing about that one? Where he had lifted up his toddler little girl to see out the window, and she slipped and fell overboard and died. They charged the grandfather. It was a pure accident, and it was on camera, and he still got charged. Like what? I mean, in this case, she knew that Leilani was still popping positive, and just she knew the situation. And yes, they were getting evicted as well. Let me find something else I want to show you guys, because it's kind of like there was several things kind of happening at the same time in this case. And I mean, in my opinion, it just shows motive. Let's see if this is the new one here. I think this is I got to pull it up so I can see it. Here, hold up. There were several things going on. So that was the final one. You can see the date on it. But she was actually served this. I know people have tried to say that Leilani never got this information or served or anything, but if you look here, the child support. So there were several things that happened that I believe, in my opinion, points to motive. She was getting evicted and hit with child support documents all at the same time. Where is the child support one I had? That was earlier. Let me see if this one's it. Yeah, okay. So this is the eviction and this is the child support. This was all hitting her at the same time, y'all. So she was going to have to start paying $150 a month for child support. And her mom was evicting her and her boyfriend. Let me see what this one is quick. Yeah, there's just some of Leilani's stuff. Okay. So these things all hit at once. And let me see what this one is. This is the eviction where Billy Joe had actually gone to the court and appeared on September 8th and was kicking her out. And that's the certificate of service on that. Where's the one I had? I think it's in my downloads. Hold up. I purchased some of these so I could actually see the full documents and know what I was talking about, you know? Hate how tiny. Here it is. Hate how tiny my StreamYard screen is. I need a bigger laptop. So on this one, you'll see she filled it out. It was filed on September 8th and it was served. And she said, not looking to be compensated, just want them to move out as quick as possible. Leilani Simon is my daughter, 22 years old, with her boyfriend and 3 kids. They have damaged my property. At this point, no one is living in peace. And then again, not looking to be compensated, just want them to move out as quick as possible. So it sounds like, home was really bad, and I get it. I totally get it. So faced with that, and this one for child support, that one was filed way back in March before Quinton was killed, served in March, and then she was subpoenaed. Now, this was filed the very day that Quinton went missing, the very day. But she was served in August, and she did not show up for court. So she had a default order of child support, and she was about to be evicted from the house. So she was losing her kids, basically, Billy Joe already had CPS placement of them under a safety plan. So I am of the belief that that's probably what they're going to present as her motive. There's usually a trigger, right before something happens. What do they? I think they just call it a trigger. But those are the last 2 things that had happened in her life. And I think she just went, well, I can't stay. I can't have my kids. Kind of like a jealous psycho ex. If I can't have you, nobody else will. Just my opinion. But if we look at, I have so much stuff on here. I'll show you my little notes that I have. Oh, it's going to make me sound, but like I've got all of this. So I'm going to not pull up everything now. But there were hearings on this that involved this case where they talked about it in Senate hearings. I'm going to show you one of the links. And again, and I know this says foster children, but this was a judiciary hearing. There were 2 of these hearings. I've got the other one too. Let's see. Here's the other one. Okay. So who do I think is culpable and what happened with Quinton? You're looking at her right now. This is Candace Brose or Brochi, I'm not sure. She's the head of DHS, the head of the Department of Human Services of Georgia. And I bring her up because she herself did this after that big report came out and just hold on, that's not the right one. The right one up here. She put out a statement basically bouncing the ball right back to local leadership, but it's all her. Christy Grimm, the one that I just showed, that is the Inspector General over Health and Human Services for the state of Georgia. And that is who else I'm looking at, because this is the person actually who made the statement and bounced the responsibility back to this lady. This is the one that put out the statement. And I had it, gosh dang it. Y'all know if you watch me, I'm really prepared, but I don't have it now. There's so much I have in here. Let me look and see if I got it in here. Hold on. I'm just going to check my links. I had like 50 tabs open. Okay, that's on. Okay, here's a really good article on this issue in Georgia. This link as well will be down in the description. There's a lot in here, a lot in that one. Now, let me see. Not that one. Following all of the report that came out, you know, that mentioned not just Quinton's case, y'all, there were a whole bunch of children who were either greatly injured or killed because DHS failed them. And it launched a bipartisan inquiry. So you guys really need to read this too. Now, nothing's really happened because of it, unfortunately. There's also this that I found. I'll put this in the description. That confirms about the indictment and her being found to be using drugs. Now, I found this really interesting because that big report that I had up here kept referencing a document that is not there anymore. It said it kept referencing OCA 2022 annual report. And with this link, look at this, y'all. The last one that they have put public, the Georgia Office of the Child Advocate Center, the last report they have public is 2019. Nothing for 20, 21, 22, 23, and of course 24. Nothing. 5 years now, they have not even put up a report. And this is under the Health and Human Resources Office of Georgia. So where's the report? It was on there because that big report mentioned it several times. So did somebody take down reports? I did try to go to the Wayback Machine to see if I could pull up an old one, an old version of this page. Yes, it's back. Hold on. I don't want that. Let me see here. Wayback Machine. Okay. Okay, looks like it's back up. Earlier, the entire Wayback Machine was down, and that never happens. So I'm going to look here. Oh, look, there's some copies. I'm going to look back and see if in 2022 that it was on that page before. Let's see what that website looked like at the end of 2022. Just kind of curious if it's up there. May have to look at 2023. Not there. Okay, let's go to 20. Start over. Hold on. I don't want my previous ones that I've put in here to show up. Okay. 2023. Let's see if anything is on there. Now I'm just kind of curious if we happen to have any proof that it was up there because it was referenced in 2023 with a link. That is not there anymore. That's crazy. Still not on. I love the Wayback Machine. Okay, so 2023. Let's try March. That's the first one of the year. You still can't work it? I love the not there. That's crazy, but they didn't even archive the page, the website, all the way from January and February till the end of March. So that report was actually in March. So that's weird. I wonder if they pulled it down. All right. So it's not there. but it was referred to, and that's what's really strange. It was supposed to be there. It was linked to. Let's see. Yes. Yep, those are in downloads. I got those. Let me see if I already showed this one. Okay, here's the one where Georgia DHS actually testified at a subcommittee hearing, October 25th of 2023. It's a great watch. I highly recommend it. So I'll put that in the link too. You're going to want to watch Melissa Carter and Miss Hetherington Emma. And then a parent. This is a parent whose child was killed in foster care. And then her story is just horrible. Very sad story of what she went through in foster care. So yeah, check that out. I wonder where that link is. I had that dang thing from the OIG in Georgia. I'm not going to look for it right now. I'll find it and I'll put it in the description as well, because it made me mad that they were basically shifting the blame back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth, and nobody would take any accountability for the utter failures in Georgia. You know, I have my opinion about what happened and why and who's responsible, but now we wait for, the court system to play out. There's really nothing else we can do until then, till we see what they actually have. I want to see all of the evidence. I know that the things that I've shown you guys tonight is probably going to come out in the trial. I'm sure the state is going to bring up the child support order, the default child support order, and the eviction process that was about to be completed. She was about to be out, and I bet that's going to play into the whole thing. Now, Law and Order, Court TV, no, not Law and Order, sorry, Law and Crime Network, and Court TV, and some local media are going to be live streaming. So I'm going to be watching. I'm not going to be live streaming or anything, but I'm going to be watching for those things. And I'm wondering if the defense is going to bring up what was brought up about the failures of DHS in Georgia. I bet you they will, right? Yeah, I bet they will, for sure. Because I think she's going to utterly fail pointing fingers at Danny. And I don't think she's going to be able to legally blame Billy Joe, even though, morally, maybe, ethically, maybe, but it just sucks. I have my feelings about it as a grandma, as a mom and a grandma, but yeah, she's, the boogeyman's name is Leilani Marie Simon. That's her name. But DHS has failed Quinton and many other children in the state of Georgia. It's so bad that right now the compliance rate for just doing the very bare minimum when it comes to investigating abuse and protecting children, it's at 16%. And we're in October. 16%. That's pathetic. I mean, if I lived in a state that had that bad I would be, if people are looking for a place to go protest on behalf of children in Quinton, there you go. I showed you. You need to be, protesting at DHS. And that's literally what I told Bullhorn Betty 2 years ago. I said, y'all need to be at the police station. You need to be at DHS. You need to be, at official places, not people's houses. But whatever. She don't listen to nobody. Sorry, my opinion. Anyway, yeah. Check into this. I'm going to put everything down in the description for you guys, and I'll put those documents as well so that you can look at them full size. If I had like 20 extra bucks right now, I would go and purchase several other documents that would be very interesting to look over, but I just don't have it. I've got my 3 grandchildren here that I'm taking care of, and they are very expensive. All of my money is what little I have goes right to them. So I just don't have it to spare. If anybody does feel generous and you want me to go get those documents, I'll get them, I'll upload them, I'll share them. Or if you want to get them, share them, that'd be great. I could show somebody else how to download them, how to get them, how to buy them, and all that. Because it's everything is a different charge there. Some things are only like $1.50. The stuff that I bought today, I did go ahead and get that because I wanted to see the Supreme Court order, whether or not she was going to get her interlocutory appeal thing, and it was denied. And those were $5. So when I can get documents, when I can order them myself, I get them myself. Or the docket has a lot of stuff too. The docket on Twitter. So I'd check there as well. All right, guys, I'm going to get time to go to bed. School night. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Bye. Thanks, Ellen. Love you, girl.